where we get forest food, a Northeast forest food brand can be established. A Northeast forest food agro-tourism, farm tourism services are very important when we work today in agriculture. We cannot make only profit by cultivating the land. We have to also think about how we add services to our farming. And those services are farm tourism, food tourism, handicraft tourism, bamboo tourism, oxygen tourism. Even the air of Arunachal, air of the Northeast is so pure that we can also think about come to our farm, stay in our farm, and breathe in fresh air. That is also selling. This is happening with us. I'm going to show you the slides where we are doing it practically. And that is the scope of all of us sitting here today, how we take it forward to this $235 million wellness food industry and $635 million wellness tourism industry. So this is what we have to look at, how we build our economy on this, right? So my organization is only working with the young people of the country and more specifically youths, and we are looking at how we create them into social agripreneurs. And I call my social agripreneurs as green commandos because I feel now we have to lead a revolution. And this revolution has to be no jindabads, no guns, but it is how our young people in the villages take agriculture, the tools of agriculture, take charge of their land and the resources, and they lead a revolution which will bring them sustenance in livelihood, and also with them they will sustain lots of farmers where the social enterprise will thrive. And social enterprise is the best model of business where we divide the risk because we are all first generation entrepreneurs. We don't have that risk bearing capacity like the other business communities. We are living so simply with nature. We are simple, natural people. We already many people like if you see the people living in the villages of Arunachal, Manipur, Meghalaya, Assam, Sikkim, they are all organic. They are organic. They are very natural. So how we take this as a power and how we share our risks together and create into an enterprise where our risk bearing capacity increases and we reuse and recycle our natural resources and take it to the market, right? So what I believe in the concept of local people, local food, and local economy, it has to be like how the people of a specific area eats local food and they develop their economy with the local food they have because that local food is nutritious to them, is tastier, is easy to grow, and most importantly, it is a market identity for them in the international market, right? I'll give you some examples later on where we can look at how we work in this concept, which is called local people, local food, and local economy, and why. And I think this is the jump forward, and this is the mantra for our success also. Whatever we are doing now, nationally, internationally, whatever business we are doing, whatever social services we are doing, this is something where we have to look at. This is the main mantra, which is leading us to a market identity and a uniqueness in the whole business area, right? So this is the mantra which we follow in Spread Northeast, which is called local people, local food, and local economy. This is because when I look at my villages where we want to go and change, so I see my village people in the remote villages of Pasighat are very happy. They are contented with nature. So they have got everything with their nature, the green. Like people in Delhi are fighting for proper water. They are fighting for the proper air. Nowadays, oxygen chambers have been started for them. But it is not happening with my villagers in the villages. So what is also happening is the happiness index. Happiness index is something, how people are happy. They are contented with nature. They are living happily. So we don't have the right to go and change them, because we people who live in the cities are more unhappy than those people whom we go to change. So our farmers, our villages, our green villages, the pure water they have, the pure air they have, the local food they have, everything is so beautiful, which is much more better than those people who from the cities go and want to change them. We don't believe in smart villages. We believe in smart villages, which are very smart with its natural resources. So that is what we have to look at, how we don't disturb the happiness index of the people. Many times when I deliver lecture in many national forums or international forums, in mainly in the national forums, many times I have been labeled as, okay, in Northeast you are a farmer and you have all the resources, but you are very lazy. In Assamese that is called land of lahe lahe, right? We are saying lahe lahe. So once I was delivering a lecture in Delhi and somebody told me, army personnel who served in this region and he went back after retirement, he raised his hand and he told me, Samir, whatever you have shown is very beautiful. Everything you have in the Northeast. But I also know that there is a word called land of lahe lahe. That is slow. We are very slow, right? So my answer to him was, so show me one place in this very fast world where people can live lazy like me. I'm a proud lazy farmer of Northeast because nature is with me. My children in the villages without walking can move around because still nature feeds us. If I'm not getting food, my mother can go to the wild and she can collect yams to many herbs, many things, right? And if we go to the river, we can catch fish. We can. If you go to Nagaland, I have seen young people moving with an air gun to kill the birds. So everything is there in nature for us. That makes us lazy, and we are bound to have that. Now, our role now is how we keep this laziness intact, because every time this is not going to be like this with a change in the climate, with a change in the environment. So I'm very happy talking to the students of forestry and horticulture, where we can think about how our forests can be made more greener by incorporating local horticultural crop inside that and make it more productive, so that it is like this and we are always lazy farmers. Because in my farm today, I have farm camping zones where I find lots of people from many parts of the country come here, and they want to stay in the farm. They stay in the farm and they pay us the agro-tourism, farm tourism. And why they come here? They tell us that they want to check the pace of their life. It is so fast. Every time it is running, 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 running after money, right? Like Lord Buddha told once that whole life people, we used to run after money. And once we accumulate the money, we spend it on our health, which we have made it bad by running after the money. But in Northeast, with the grace of God, we have such a beautiful nature which we have to think. And in spread Northeast, we are thinking about how we grow with this beautiful nature and our laziness, right? So many times we criticize our laziness, but here I love to promote laziness as also an USP of this region, that we can grow so healthy, which many people can come back here to check the pace of their life, right? When I talk as a farmer, I just have to mention you this, that my local seeds are my freedom. Whenever I lose my seeds, I lose my freedom. So it has to be, when I talk about developing the whole economy on the local food, it is also I'm talking about conserving the local seed wisdom. We have to conserve the local seeds. We have to conserve the local food crops. We have to conserve the local horticultural crop. We have to conserve the forest food. We have to conserve the seeds, because seeds is the beginning. And people on the other side who wants to do agribusiness, I'm talking about the corporations which are in the agribusiness. I'm talking about the corporations which they know that if they control a seed, they can control the whole value chain. If they control seed, they control food, and they control the whole market and the people. So it's very important as a farmer, as a barefoot scientist, I realize that if I lose my seed, I lose my freedom. So I have to grow with my seeds. I have to have the right to keep my seeds from year after year, which from my ancestors' time, everyone is doing that, right? So this is very important that we keep our own seeds and we grow with our own seeds. when i when I'm talking about this food sovereignty, seed sovereignty, we have to also know this conspiracy behind the food. And this conspiracy is how my local chicken, which is growing wildly in my homestead garden, is transformed into a broiler or a croiler or any kind of thing where the corporates like the Venkies can sell me chicken eggs to chicks to feeds to everything. Or how my local lipata or the mustard leaf is changed to something called cabbage, broccoli, or celery, where I don't have the right to keep my seeds of cabbage, which I buy from the market, seeds of lettuce, which I buy from the market for the next year. But I have to depend on the corporations like Monsanto's, Bayer's, DuPont, Syngenta, endless numbers of names. Who wants that? That farmer has to be dependent on their seeds. But for my mustard leaf, it is more nutritious. The market economics which we have surveyed is something which is very beautiful for the local crop. So this mustard leaf gives me a very good market price. The mustard leaf oil, now my farmers working with me, they extract oil out of that. We can export it, which is a market identity in the whole international market. And that seed I can keep by myself. It is not patented by any corporations. So this is the conspiracy which you have to know, that they want to control the seed. And they know when they control the seed, they control the whole value chain and the food of the people and the whole economy. Farmers become just dependent on them. Farmers has to take loan. And this is the region where I have seen farmers taking loan from banks and borrowing $100,000
Sorry for the inconvenience. Because of some technical issues, it got disconnected. We are sorting out the problem.
participant, we just wait. There was a connectivity problem. He's joining again. Now you can start sharing your
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. There was
slides.
there was an internet problem, so I got disconnected. Sorry for this. Yeah. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yeah, visible.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going like this. There's some problem. Okay. So I was talking about this conspiracy where we have to think about how, as a farmer, I have the independence to be dependent on my own resources that God has given me, right? So this is okay. So this is what we have to understand. We understood very early. So for the last 1.5 decade, I have been working in this region to grow on all the local resources we have and we create. And when you look at the region, if we talk about the Northeast region where we are based there, so I found this is the most greenest part of the country. And this is one of the greenest part in the whole world map. So we have to think about how we retain this greenness and how we grow with this greenness, right? And I believe wherever we are born, God has given us food. If I am born in Assam, God has given me so many of food to eat, from scented Johar rice to local rices and pulses, or the herbs and most of our herbs are nutraceutical herbs. If somebody is born in Arunachal, they have their own food wisdom. Somebody is born in like Manipur, they have their own food wisdom. Somebody is born in Sikkim, so they have their own food wisdom. So wherever God has given us food, we God has given us, but he has also given us food. And whenever we try to come out of our food wisdom, then what happens? We get dependent. That is the dependency syndrome of the farmer, right? So we have to think about how we grow with our local food wisdom, right? And that is why my farming system, or I feel as a farmer, my religion is to grow healthy, healing food. That is, the food which I sell has to be now healthy, healing food. That is what the wellness food industry demands. That is what the nutraceutical crops we have in the Northeast. That is, which gives nutrition and also has got medicinal use. Those are our identity, and we have to conserve the local food wisdom, and we have to grow with the climate, not go against nature, but go like nature. It's not how you change nature, but it's how you mimic nature to grow your food. So, in my technology of growing food, I mimic nature. I think about how these beautiful plants in the forest grow so nicely without a farmer. So, I think about why I should pamper my food crops so much. Then I found out that when I don't pamper my local food, they grow nicely. But if I grow hybrids and genetically modified inside my food forest, they do not grow. They need pampering. And the corporations who have made the seeds, who wants that when they sell the seed, they have to sell their herbicides, like Monsanto, right? They have to sell their pesticides, they have to sell their fertilizers. So they know they manufacture seed which will require pamperings, right? So why we should not depend on those crops which are so naturally growing inside the food forest, right? So that is my concept of food forest, where we that is a climate friendly, climate resilient farming practices, and that is something which suits my work culture of my people. We don't have to be very smart with technology. We have to think about how we are very smart with nature, right? So we build our strength with our own strengths, right? Our economy has to be built with our own strength. And if you talk about this whole pandemic and the coronavirus, then if you look at, I told you, $235 million wellness food industry, and most of the nutraceutical crops are in the forest of the northeast, or in the villages of the country, wherever. Like it might be Kerala, it might be. And when I talk about like when wherever God gives you birth, He gives you food. I will tell you, like in Assam and everything, we are getting our own food. If you look at a farmer, I'm making farms in Rajasthan now. In deserts, we have started growing food, right? And I have seen when I work there as a consultant to many entrepreneurs and organizations, I have found that in Rajasthan, also in the desert, when people are there, God has given them very beautiful plant called sangri, which is a very good sabji for them. Like they eat it with roti. So if you go down south, you will see so many of rice varieties which mix into beautiful dosas and idlis. So you cannot think about a high yielding or hybrid variety making so beautiful dosas and idlis, right? So wherever God has given you, but God has given us food. Now what is happening after this COVID or this is like people are looking up to the immunity building food items. And my dear friends, the immunity building food items are our local crops. So we have to think about how we grow with them. This, if you look my picture and you look at the herbs, these are very common herbs in our villages, and they don't need some rocket sciences to grow them, right? They are wild. Most of the time our mothers are collecting it from the forest, but now we have to think how we also grow them along with the forest, not again manufacture some technologies and bring in tractors and power tillers and greenhouses and technologies to grow them, but look at how climate friendly we grow them inside the forest. For example, this fiddlehead greens, that is we call dhekia in Assamese, right? This we most of the Northeast people eat them. So this fiddle-headed greens, these are the highest protein source next to soybean, right? So these are something which is everything is medicinal, everything is nutraceuticals, right? So we have to think about how we develop them, and this processing is also. I'll be talking about processing. Processing is also not very rocket science again. Our bamboo mats, our sun drying, a story of 100 women making a roselle flower into roselle tea, which sells at Guwahati market at 3,000 rupees kg as a herbal tea, right? Which helps people to be which is anti-diabetic, anti-cancerous, and most importantly, it sells as a slimming tea, right? So these are the properties. So many natural medicinal properties are there in all the herbs we have. So we have to think about how we grow with them. Our red rice, our black rice, our sticky rice, our scented rice, so our deep water rice, so many our jhum paddy rice. We have so many beautiful, nutritious rice varieties, and the biodiversity of rice seeds, which we have to think about how we grow with that. We don't have to think about how we grow with 6444 or rice hybrid rice from how a social agripreneur we build a very good rice seed village, and we think about how we take it to the market. Black rice of Manipur is very famous, red rice of Meghalaya is very famous, but what I want to highlight you is we have so many less entrepreneurs or agripreneurs from Manipur who is thinking about how to keep the seeds and how to market the seeds, because seed business is also something which we have to look at, which is very big. And there we are doing two things. That is, one is conservation, and one is And also we are looking at how we grow with it. I saw somebody raising the hand, but you want me to finish it, or you want to do the interaction in between?
No, at the end, no, say that.
Hello.
Sir, sir, you can continue the session. They will get chance at the end of the session to ask questions.
Okay, okay, okay. And what? How much time I have, Victoria?
You have around 1.5 hour,
Okay,
one and a
okay,
half hour lecture and 30 minutes discussion.
okay, 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 Dr. Radha. Thank you. So I was talking about this red rice, black rice, and the whole rice biodiversity. But now we have to think about how we take it to the market. If I give you an example, I was walking in Thailand on the rice processing and agro-tourism, and you can see the Thailand model, how they have made into small community enterprises of women and small farmers, and how they have conserved the local rice like the jasmine rice, and how they have also started processing, micro processing them into macaronis or different products, and they have started marketing it, right? As a, because when I talk about social enterprise and social agripreneurship, I'm talking about creating stories with farmers. The story sells, right? You as a social entrepreneur can be the bridge, and you can make a beautiful village in Arunachal or Manipur black rice seed village, where one agriculture or forestry or horticulture graduate is the agripreneur, and who is giving them technology of how to keep the seeds, making it into a seed which can be marketed to other farmers to conserve, and this guy has got a story now. The agricultural graduate, unemployed agricultural graduate from Manipur, making a seed village in remote village, and hundred of women are working on seed conservation. That is a story. And my dear friends, the story sells in the market. And with the advancement in the social media now, we are so open to the whole world that we can market our products to end users, which we get globally, right? So it's very important now to think local and act global. And to do that, the most beautiful vehicle we have is our local crops, right? Our local fishes. We give so much of trust to them, some fishes which we bring from outside, technologies and out. We forget the local fishes which constantly give a very good market price, and they are not costly to raise. They're not costly to raise. We can simply raise them, and they can be created. For example, I'm showing you the catfish, local catfish. Now I have my friend who is an entrepreneur who makes this catfish into a dry product or dehydrated product, and he exports it to Dubai. Dubai has got a high demand of this dry catfishes, and this is not rocket science again. So this is something where you have to make a pit, you have to make muddy the situations which they like, that kind of pond, and you don't destroy the nature by digging it the ponds too much, or putting in again Godrej food products to the fish, or some company food products to the feed, or rather than they grow naturally, and you get international identity as an agripreneur in the market. So we have to look at how we grow with them. Our local fruits, right from the amla, right. If you think about Patanjali, the Babaji, just doing yoga is selling so many local products to many. So see his model. Think about sitting in Northeast, sitting in a village where you have so much of local food items, where the Babaji has got his eyes every time. So you have to think about how strong we can make our farmers. We cannot be a Babaji because he has got too much of money power. I'm just mentioning the Babaji as a corporate, right? Okay, this is an example. So, but we cannot be a Babaji, but what we can think about is how hundreds of farmers together, we can be a social enterprise. We can be a farmers producers company. We can be a cooperative. So how we come together, we can be a community enterprise. How we come together and we grow with this fruit, right? Uh, I don't have to mention about the varieties of chilies we have in the whole Northeast. If you look at from Sikkim to Nagaland to Manipur to Assam to Mizoram. Everywhere, God has given a special kind of chilies. These are sufficient for us to establish us as an agripreneur in the world market. We can think about how we grow with this. And this again don't need, because king chilies grow best inside the forest, because I grow king chilies inside the bamboo groves and they grow best. Four kinds of viruses attack this king chili. But when you grow inside the bamboo grove, you can do a trial. You are a college of horticulture and forestry. You can do a trial and you can see the viral infestation is so less, the production is so good, the king chilies are so spicy. So these are the things, like the bird's eye chili of Mizoram, right? The black Krishna Jolokia of Assam. So we have so much of diversity of those crops. It's not only chili, it is many crops, right? Which can give us market identity and we grow on that. So in spread Northeast, we grow with this product. Here, I want to mention you something. Whenever I work in whole Northeast, and I am having more than 10,000 farmers working with me all over the Northeast in the social enterprise. Uh, See, one thing when we talk about social agripreneurship, we have to also think about how we improve our group dynamics, right? For example, if I talk about this king chili, when I am working with in Churachandpur with my friends from Manipur there, with my cookie friends from Manipur there, when I work there, they tell me, "Ki, sir, don't call it Naga chili or Umora, call it cookie chili," right? When I come to the Imphal plains and I work with my Meitei farmers, they tell me, "Ki, no, sir, this is Umora." When I come to Nagaland and work in Tening, Old Test and Parent district, remote areas where king chilies are grown very nicely, then they say, "No, sir, this is not cookie chili, this is not Umora, this is Naga king chili, right? Naga chili, Naga mircha, right?" And when I come to Assam, then my farmers will tell me, "No, this is Bhut Jolokia." So we are fighting with the names, but we don't think about how we create Naga chili or king chili or Umorok or cookie chili, one brand of the Northeast, which is called a food forest product or a forest product or a naturals brand. And more pity on us, because now this king chili seeds are marketed by some companies from the United Kingdom, right? So you can find in the internet. So Naga Doset Chili. So how many entrepreneurs we are proud of our local crops, but we don't think about growing with our local crops. But we try about, like, okay, now if you go to the Assam villages, you will find that so many hybrid chili varieties are incorporated. But my experience of farming 1.5 decade is that I grow my local chili crop so nicely without any problems inside my food forest, right? Plus, what we haven't, if I talk very specifically about Northeast and also with the context of the villages of India, right, is our beautiful environment. That is something which we have to cash on. This is our positive uh, thing in agribusiness. We have to think about, we have a beautiful environment which can also be sold as a service in agriculture, right? Our lovely people, the human resource, I told you, lazy, very simple minded, very hospitable, very good people we have in our villages. And that is our strong human resource. That is something which is very important in farming, right? Our rich culture and heritage. The culture and heritage is because I believe agri plus culture is agriculture. Everybody, even I studied that in my first year of agriculture, right? Agri plus culture is agriculture, and that we call scientifically culturing the soil. Agri means soil, culturing the soil is agriculture. But to me, agri means soil, culture means the culture of the place. Soil and the culture makes our beautiful villages. That is our economy also. That is our livelihood also, right? So whenever youths from the villages go out of the agri or the soil, the culture of the place automatically disintegrates. So if we can keep it together, and when we can keep it together, when we make it low cost and we make farming profitable, and when we make it suitable to the work culture of the people, we don't impose, We don't impose anything on the farmers. Then we will not complain as an agricultural extension worker. Okay, we give them everything free, but they don't work. That is a complaint of most of the agricultural extension workers, right? They are not working. We give them everything because we are trying to impose. We are not looking at the fact that they are more happy than us. They are contented with nature. They need some liquid money for their running that we have to give them through creating beautiful food forest of local crops and food tourism, farm tourism, those kind of things. So this rich culture and heritage that plays an important role in the life of an agripreneur or a social enterprise because this gives you additional earnings through the tourism part which we can involve. Right? Our traditional food wisdom, that is our strength. I have talked about that, right? How this is a strength. Our diverse storehouse of local food crops and the forest. That is something which is 50% of India's own forest cover is in Northeast. Right? So we have to think about how diverse is our storehouse of forest. And inside the forest, we have forest food products which are internationally demanded. Nowadays in Delhi, there is a mela called Forest Food Mela. And whenever it is happening, many friends from Delhi will call me, Samir, send us some forest food products. Our bamboo suit to all the other food forest food items we have, they have got a very good market. So we now have to think about how we brand them, how we market them, and this is us who we have to take it. Don't think about a job because you are born in a place where you can create lots of jobs because God is with you. God has given you the resources. God has given you the strength. God has given you to start a zero budget. I have now zero budget concept, which I'll be talking later on, and I'll invite you all people to also come and visit our food forest, which is only 25 kilometers from Guwahati, and you can look at lots of other organizations, like even many international universities, like the Frankfurt University, Germany, Taiwan Catholic University. Lots of universities are doing research on this model of food forest, where we are looking at how my agricultural book I have to unlearn inside when I become a farmer. And I have to unlearn many things. I have unlearned weeds and weedicides. I have unlearned many things from the books and have to practically make it suitable to the culture and the place and the nature of the region, right? So we have a diverse storehouse of local crops and forests, which are very important. Our indigenous technical know-how, that is the traditional knowledge wisdom, is very important. Like I was telling you, I grew king chilies inside the bamboo grove. I didn't learn it from Google. I didn't learn it from my agricultural textbooks. I learned it from the very remote village farmers of Nagaland, where I saw the gelling farmers of Nagaland. They grow king chilies inside the bamboo grove, and they grow so nicely. So this traditional knowledge wisdom, we have 50 kind of techniques where we don't bring anything from outside the forest. We grow everything which we have in the forest. Even we don't bring the seeds outside the forest. So the food forest concept is something where we bring everything, we use everything inside the forest. The termite hill soil, after the termite leaves the hill, that becomes the protein source for my soil, right? The termite leaves so much of protein in that. So these are many kind of technologies which we have inside the forest, and we can learn it from them, right? And we have in our traditional knowledge wisdom. Our pure air, the air, right? I told you in Delhi and other cities now you're coming up with oxygen chambers, right? But you give village tourism in Arunachal, village tourism in Assam, village tourism in remote Manipur villages, you will find this works very beautifully. I'll give you some example. I was a speaker in the World Organic Congress last, which happened. It happens every 3 years. So 2017, it was in Delhi. So I was a speaker there in the World Organic Congress. And when I was speaking, one of my slides was showing school children inside my forest. And suddenly one person asked me what the kids are doing inside the forest. So I was not prepared and I suddenly answered, sir, this is oxytourism. This is oxygen tourism. So you can come to our beautiful Northeast villages, to our farms, and you can breathe in fresh air. Then he was asking me, what is the package? I said, this is 1,500 rupees per night. You believe me, we have 15 families next year from Delhi coming for oxytourism. And like our RAWE program in agricultural universities, we allotted them post farmers in different remote villages. And the farmers also earn money from that. And also we also sustained as a social entrepreneur. So that is the strength of the region, right? Our pure water, I don't have to tell about that. Still, we have so much of good water. Still, if I talk about hills, we have to think in winters how we conserve the rainwater, conserve the water, because in winters there is too much of water stress. Our hospitable nature and pure hearts. Now, every webinar I'm going to, people ask me about the reverse migration of young people, right? So most of our people were in the hospitality industry. We did a survey and we found that most of our youths were in the hospitality industry because we come from natural villages. So our hospitable nature is very good. So the agro-tourism, farm tourism, food tourism is something which we can beautifully add to our business to double up the income of the farmer. We don't have to think about introducing hybrids, genetically modified technologies like hydroponics and high-tech things, which our remote farmers cannot absorb, right? So we have to give them something which is very beautiful. That is, your traditional food is very good. So we are doing a food tourism. Your traditional seeds are very good. So we are going to do a seed tourism festival, right? So those kind of things can earn the agripreneurs also money and also can support the farmers to earn money, right? Our diversity and the whole biota is our strength. Our capacity to be indolent in the first world. I told you that we are lazy. To be lazy, to be indolent, uh, is something which is a strength. We have to maintain it. We have to think about that. Okay, it's not that crikey, our farmers are very lazy, but we have to think about how they are capable of doing that because they are so close with nature. So we keep the nature very properly and we grow with this. This is, my friend, we have to take care of, right? Our youths and children, they are our future. So they have to be very strong and they have to be attracted to this beautiful business of food, which is the biggest industry. But due to so many conspiracies I was talking about, due to the cost of cultivation, due to high-tech technology, which is not very much, which cannot be absorbed by our farmers, farming is not becoming profitable, despite, my dear friends, of being the biggest budget. I don't know, it's like big, right? 180 like crores or something big budgets. Every time you have big budget of agriculture, but no farmer's kid wants to be a farmer. That is the question mark, right? So we have to think about how we attract our young people. To attract young people, we have to create stylish farmers. Farmers has to be proud to write farmer in front of their name. Farms has to be very much beautiful with nature, where people nowadays working for the climate is a style now, because that is also something which we have to, it's not only style, it is necessity. But the young generation is more conscious about how you grow with nature. So we have to think about how we climatize farm. So this is my way of farming, where we create for food forest through ecological farming practices. So you have to unlearn something from your agricultural book, where you have spacing, where you have like you have monocropping system, you have like many technologies, weeding and weeds. But in my technology, I grow everything together, right? Because I believe as a farmer, I have to grow food, not commerce. If I grow food, commerce will automatically come to me. We don't have to think about how I grow commerce. I just have to grow food, good food for the people, and the commerce will come. And this is something which is proved in my life, where it is not keeping us back. It is always giving us go ahead, right? So if you look at the picture, so I don't think about the grasses or weeds because I don't believe on that. You can see, if you can see my cursor, we have yams, we have turmerics, we have this is turmeric like leaf, also we call that mango ginger, mango flavored ginger. This is a special variety of black chili, local chili. Where I am sitting is not grass or it's not weeds, that is sweet potatoes, pumpkins, everything growing together. If you take care of the soil, there are many ways to take care of your soil, which I think we need some technical session on this. If you want to learn about zero budget natural farming or ecological farming practices and how to create food forests, so you can join our camps, which I will be telling you later on. So this is some way we make seed bombs, we mix the seeds, we throw, and the nature takes care of that. It's like birds dispersing seeds and the forest growing by itself, right? And if you look at the forest, God has everything. I'll just share you a story. When I was traveling in None district of Manipur, where I was working with a school, where I work with lots of school children to create school gardens, school food forests, right? And give them activity-based learning there. So when I was traveling, I saw that there was huge deforestation in the forest. It is in Tamenglong district, and now it's called None district. So a huge deforestation was there. So nothing was there. It was a rocky mountain. But what I saw is some wild banana plants are growing up. And with the banana plants, I saw some shrubs coming up, green shrubs coming up. Suddenly, sitting on the vehicle itself, I got on my head that there is no water in this rocky mountain, but these bananas are growing. And bananas are the drip irrigation system of God. It's not JN irrigation system. This is drip irrigation system of God, where this banana plants is retaining so much of moisture and is also allowing other shrubs to grow. So God has grown this. So when you travel in the mountains, you will see the wild bananas growing. To me, as a natural farmer, I look them as the drip irrigation system of God. So what I believe is wherever God has given you a challenge, God gives you a solution, right? If my if my local chili tomatoes are attacked by some insects, so nearby only I have some weeds. We call it weeds, but I don't call it weeds. We grow some herbs. Some herbs are growing which are not edible, but which are also not eaten by cows and goats. I just have to bring them, boil it in water, and spray the water. The insect is gone. Right? So the biopesticides. So wherever God has given us a challenge, God has also given us solution. So this is the way which I do. And to my surprise, you look at the growth of the turmeric in the food forest. There is no weeding. There is no. We just go and plant them. While planting, we make zero tillage bed because I believe, as a farmer, I don't have the right to till my soil because it belongs to my future generation. I don't have to destroy the topsoil and the so much of years of microflora growing there, the microorganisms growing there. So I just can collect the topsoil from the forest and make it into raised bed, which there is a way of making our zero tillage raised beds. We make raised beds and grow the crops on them and leave them like this. After after 6 months of the lockdown, when I went to the farm day before yesterday, this is a picture. You see the growth of the turmeric. It is on my height in the forest, right? So we don't need Monsanto to sell their roundups, and we don't need Excel crop care to sell their glyphosates to kill the weeds, right? We can grow with them. If we remove the weeds, we can make it into compost. We can nurture the soil from it. So we have to think about how we reuse and recycle. All our homesteads can be full of local fruits, from the mulberry fruits, where you can also rear the silkworms, and also you can create a very beautiful fruit. To many fruits like the jackfruits, where you can make vegan meat to many kind of products. All the coffee plum, Indian coffee plum, which can be made into juice. So numerous local fruits which we have, which we can create into food forest in our homestead gardens, because our homesteads are also big, and 100 homesteads can make into a very beautiful social or community enterprise. See this mango ginger. This is not turmeric. This is mango ginger and sesame growing together in the food forest, right? No, just you have to go and plant it. Nature takes care of that. This is a learning from the forest. I always think about who plants the trees in the forest. So there is nature. Nature can nurture our future. So we just have to, we farmers also have to think about how we keep it with nature and grow with that. Who will do that, right? So we have to create stylish young farmers. So I have my concept of green commandos. I call them green commandos. young people from all over the Northeast, all over the country, now from all over the world also, because we have green commandos in other countries like Bhutan and other parts also. So who come in, and in our food forest, we have a 3 days farm for soul camping. We call it farm for soul camping because the person who wants to be natural farmer or who wants to do a natural business has to look at his soul also, whether he is pure organic from inside or not. So we do a farm for soul camping for 3 days, and we train them. 80% is practical. All the agricultural university students come, 50 or 60 or PhD, MSc, BSc, MBAs, IITs, IITians, all come, and they stay in our camps, and we learn from morning till evening how to become a social entrepreneur. That is a green commando. Going back, they adopt a school in their community, make a school food forest, and then they go to the community and make the community into some very beautiful product they have in the community and lead it to the market. We have a market-led extension program which I'm coming with. So these are the green commandos. I thought I should keep the name green commandos because this is something which is appealing our youths, because in the villages, when I go to villages in Northeast, everybody tells me, okay, I want to become a Assam rifle person, or I want to become an army person, or I want to become a police. If I don't get that, I become a security guard in Bangalore city or Mumbai city, right? Or if I don't get that, I go to the forest and take up guns and become ULFA or NSCN or whatever, right? PLA or whatever. So when our people are so much liking to be in disciplined way, farming is something which needs too much of discipline from morning till evening, right? So I thought I will name the Green Commandos, and this is something which is becoming viral all over the world now. And we have now 400. I started it 2 years back, and now we have 426 Green Commandos with us, and we work together and we lead it to the market. And 40% of my Green Commandos are agricultural students, right? So these are all young, happy Green Commandos who are ready to take on with the resources we have, and how we help our farmers together, and we lead into a very beautiful market, right? And this Green Commandos lead a market-led extension. So it is, see, when you do a job, you have to be happy. Like Victoria was or doctor was talking about how I started my journey. I studied agriculture, then I got as my most of my life was in Arunachal Pradesh. My childhood was in my higher secondary from Tawang Higher Secondary School, and then I joined agriculture, and I studied agriculture. So my parents were serving there. My parents retired from zero. So after that, after my agriculture, I also got the chance to join as an agricultural extension officer in Arunachal, but I didn't opt to do this, left the job, and then I started working for some time, because that was a time when I was trying to establish myself. I started working in Tata Chemicals, and then I realized that how much of chemicals are pumped in as target to the northeast in the name of monocrop of tea or monocrop of rice or something, right? So I left that job and started the first agri clinic, thought about becoming a plant doctor, and landed up becoming a social entrepreneur, the present day Farmer Summit, which I became through this transition. But what I felt is there is so much of love from the farmers. There is so much of regards. Money comes in, also comes in regards and respect. That makes you happy. And that is the happiness index. This is something which is, you have to be very satisfied of what you do. Then only you can do justice to your life, right? So your passion, your dream has to be something. And for your dream and passion, you have to have guts to accept it. Because when I left the government job, I was a culprit at my home, right? Because leaving a government job is a crime in this society. So but you have to have that guts. Few days you will be listening from your parents, because they are also groomed into this white collar job whole ideology, which does not exist now. Now we have to think about. And my green commandos, they work with the farmers, they take it to the market, and they also gain so much of social attraction, which makes them leaders. And they become the leaders, and the leadership quality comes on them and they can lead the movement, right? We need lots of agripreneurs, social agripreneurs who can lead in this country today, and most importantly, in this region today, who to lead this local people, local food, and local economy whole concept, right? So the social agripreneurs are the bridge between the farmers and the consumers. So I'll give you an example. Like for example, we have so now my green commandos have got a store of local food products in Guwahati. So what happens is the green commando in the rural areas, they go and they train the farmers, make them into a group, a community enterprise, and develop a product. And then the green commandos, youths in the urban cities, they motivate all the urban consumers, the local, I'm not talking about export, local consumers to eat local food. Now these two connect the consumer to the farmer, right? And in between, they reciprocate the model of the middleman. Earlier, what happened? The middlemen used to take more money and they used to give less money to the farmers. Now, my green commandos reciprocate it because they will be doing bigger business. So they take a little profit and they give more benefit to their farmers. So that is something which is very sustainable. And that is that model we call farm connect, right? So they grow it like that, right? I have a program now called Attracting Students to Agripreneurship Program. I call it ASAP, as soon as possible we have to do it. So how we introduce farming, food forest, natural farming, ecological farming, seed conservation, local food wisdom, local culture, tourism, everything together in the minds of the school and college going children, right? So we have this program where we work with the school children with farm campings. We go to the colleges, train them, and we ask the agricultural students who work with us and become green commandos to adopt villages and lead a market-led extension. So this program is very close to my heart. I saw that most of your generation people are so much interested to work with nature and think about how we grow with nature, right? So this is something which we do, and we work with the school children now, right? I have more than 150 schools where our young green commanders go. They adopt their school. They train them how to make this picture showing how kids are making a compost heap, right? How they keep their seeds, how they make their nutrition food forest at the school, how they eat up the local herbs in the midday meal, how they learn, okay, when you are growing your food, you are saving money, you are earning money. So that is the seed of entrepreneurship we sow in the mindset of the children, right? And this is an activity-based learning. We are not going out of the science textbook of them because class 6, 7, 8, you read the first things of agriculture, what you are reading today in your university books, right? So this is the start. When you learn about food, you learn about nutrition, you learn about soil, you learn about photosynthesis, you learn about the atom, you learn about the microbes. So everything can be made into a very beautiful activity-based learning model. And their food forest becomes their science laboratory. So we are doing it in a very beautiful way. With Assam government, we did a program through the Sarva Shiksha Abhijan mission also, where we gave this program as an activity-based learning model. Any one of you interested, you can join us as a Green Commando and take this beautiful program to your villages and communities, right? And after the schools, when you establish the school food forest, then we work with the mothers, and then we go to the homestead gardens. How nutrition of the family can be linked to livelihood. I told you, most of the villages have got big homestead gardens. This homestead garden development program is very much important. Now we are creating this homestead garden into a big food forest, homestead food forest model. I'm working with NABARD now, which NABARD is supporting us in creating this homestead food forest. So if you have 100 homestead food forests, the community, the family can have their good local food and have good nutrition, save money by not buying vegetables, which is becoming a habit in the villages also now to buy vegetables. And after that, also the community can market the surplus as a community enterprise as a process product, right? So this is something which we do. Processing is very simple in our context. What I'm showing you, this picture is of wood apple. We call it bell in Hindi, bell or wood apple. This is a very good anti-diabetic, anti-cancerous, nutritious health drink, herbal drink, right? What you just have to do is you just have to cut the immature wood apples into pieces, sun-dry them like this for 2 days, then make it powder in a mixer grinder or a grinder, and just add 1 teaspoon for 2 cups of tea, boil it and drink it hot. It's so beautiful and it's demanding. And for your information, we make it from our food forest in our villages. And in Guwahati city, we sell it at 1,000 rupees a kg, and the farmers are getting 800 rupees a kg. So in between, the green commandos are getting 100 rupees a kg. We as an organizations are getting 100 rupees a kg. So local people, local food, local economy, right? So this is zero budget technically. You don't need a bank loan for this. You don't need a startup loan or subsidy for this. You start it up, do it in the local. You see so many people will come to support you. When the things are started, banks also take you very granted. Okay, this guy is doing something, right? So the trust building can be done with all the local resources we have. This is something very important for the entrepreneurs. Microgreens, our local food crops can be made into microgreens. This when we were locked down and we were stuck up, we were not doing anything. But in the farm, we didn't stop because farmer, as Jawaharlal Nehru told, everything can stop, but agriculture cannot stop. So we didn't stop. We started this unit of producing microgreens because immunity building food is important, right? So this is something which needs very small space, and you can have seed villages. Konjav, mustard leaf or lai patta village, then take the seeds, make microgreens, sell it all over. Now we have demand from Bangalore. We are sending it to Bangalore. We are sending it at Guwahati. So it's so high demanding and low cost. No cost, in fact. You have your own compost to make this, and you have your own seeds to make it, make it. Only the cost of everything comes on the post harvest, where you can take up support, like how to pack it, how to market it, how to take the licenses, how to take the certificates. This is what we need in Northeast, right? Farm Connect is a program where I have started, like where our green commandos go to the consumers in the urban cities, and they talk about how to adopt a farmer, or they motivate the consumers to adopt a farmer for a food. For example, I am a consumer. I eat so much of rice. I buy it from a grocery store. Why to buy it from a grocery store? Why don't I adopt a farmer in the village? He grows for me. The farmer has a plan for growing now because he has got targeted customers. I live in concrete, for example. I'm living in a city. So if I have a farmer friend, my kids can go to my farmer friend, and I can expose my kids to nature on Saturdays and Sundays, agro tourism next day, right? So this is a beautiful program which we have started in Guwahati city now, right? I told you our Green Commandos. We have started one store in Guwahati, like to add respect to the farmer's profession. It is very important to make the selling point very beautiful. You cannot think about taking some your growing products and taking it to the market and just you sit in the footpath and sell it. It has to be beautiful. So if you want to add regards to your profession, you have to make the selling point beautiful, right? Same herbal cosmetics items sell in supermarket, but the herb which makes the cosmetic sells in the footpath, right? So we have to think about how we develop this. We have developed this in Guwahati, where Green Commandos adopt peri-urban villages, create food forest with the horticultural crops, and then they market there to the consumers, right? Once again, I repeat, my dear friends, when we go as an extension worker to serve in the villages, when we go as a researchers to help the farmers, being a farmer, this is my submission, right? Think about how you don't create needs into greeds. Think about how we maintain the happiness index of the village. And think about you do research, you do extension on the strength of the place, not something which is planned in the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Delhi. It has to be something where we are planning from here and giving it to them. Okay, this is the model which we like, right? So this is the strength of a social agripreneur, friends. I'm freelance. I can talk anything, right? I can do anything. I don't have to be bound by a package of practice or our rules and regulations, right? I can do anything which is good for my community, which is good for the market, which is good for myself, right? Welcome to Spread Any Farm Learning Center. We are very simple. We are in the forest. We have no buildings. We don't believe in too much of concrete. So we have bamboo classrooms where from all over the world, people come to become green commandos. We train them how to create food forests, how to do zero budget ecological farming practices, how to process low cost, and how to lead a market-led extension. So yeah, this is our classroom. Uh, in the evening, we all sit down and we do something called the soul searching, where we look at how we become good farmers, how we become good agripreneurs. This is our camping zone where we have tents where people come out of the concretes, come out of the stereotypic lifestyle, live in our tents, and from morning till evening, we learn from nature and we walk together. 80% practical, only 20% we talk, right? Bamboo huts are there, tents are there. We live in this kind of ambience, which is very natural, and we think about how we grow our economy with the local resources. I welcome you all to join us as Green Commandos. This is our website, my email ID. Follow me on Facebook to learn about when we do the trainings and everything. Keep connected, and thank you very much for this beautiful time which you have given me and your patience hearing which you have given me for today's morning. You made my morning very nice because I love talking to the young people of the country to think about how we take it forward uh, with the concept of local people, local food, and local economy. Thank you very much. Yeah, Dr. Raja, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your highlighting your all this work, how you are doing beautifully, you have said. And it was really interesting. One thing I observed, the way you grow the crops in a natural ecosystem, not applying this herbicides and other. So good. I think you're back to this traditional way of practicing and farming, and that secure, not only secure this environment, but also give this quality food so that the people who are taking this quality food, and it will be really healthy food. And so you have pointed out that how to manage also. It was very interesting to learn that the way, this is one of the problem is in chili crops is a viral disease. You know, this leaf curl virus, potivirus, and so many other diseases. It's common, and the way you are narrated, like, you know, like protecting them, you know, cultivating under bamboo shadow. So that is a very good, like it provide kind of a shelter belt or filters for the transmitters.
Yeah,
for the transmitters. Okay, so it was a very, very interesting. Yeah, and also you said about even finance part also, how you could do it, you know, getting this financial support also too. I think it was a wonderful outline from the beginning, how you grow the crops, how you are producing, how you are marketing, and how to get to the financial source also. I was watching your, you know, lectures from the beginning. Thank you so much. Now it's a time for dear participant. I think some of you have, they have asked the questions, and can you see the chat box and answer them, or can I read it for you?
I
The
think
number one question is, yeah, let me see that. Here, most of them are, yeah. Yeah. Can you tell us the process of getting patent of agripreneurship? That's questions from Mohit Singh.
Ha ha ha. How you become an agripreneur is there is an organization called Government of India organized called Manage Hyderabad. So Manage Hyderabad has got a very beautiful program called Agri Clinics and Agri Business ACABC Agri Clinic and Agri Business. So this is something which is very supportive for the agriculture and allied subject graduates, where you have a 2 months course, where after graduation you have to do this 2 months course, and you can be entitled to get this. You can be entitled to be an entrepreneur, and Manage will give you a certificate which certifies you as an entrepreneur. And after this 2 months, you are also liable to get bank loan up to 20 lakhs per agricultural graduate. And if you are a team of five, then you can make 20 into 5 into 1 crore venture also, with a subsidy for the Northeast at the rate of 44%. So there is 44% subsidy is also there, where you can start up your own business with the subsidy. So this is the way how you identify yourself as an entrepreneur when it is when it is like when you go formally. But for me, the way I'm showing you is something where you can start with zero budget. Just go. If you don't have land also, go adopt a village, identify a crop which is very local and which has got identity all over the world as a good food product, and just groom it, take it to the market. You will earn from that, right? Your farmers will support you to earn from that. That is what is social entrepreneurship, right? Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is.
Yeah, I think I can rate this is.
The next question is hybrid seeds. 12:20 p.m.
Yeah. So this is hybrids is a more quality than some of the local seeds in terms of taste, color, yield, size, etc. So there is a decline in the cultivation of our traditional seed. So what is the importance and advantage of cultivating and conserving our local seeds? See, uh, Suchitra, this is a very good question, and I would like to answer it like this. I told you, seed is our freedom, right? When you talk about the hybrid seeds, they have been made. Okay, some qualities of them are good, but these qualities are extracted from the local ones, and they are modified into that, right? So we have to identify the local seeds first thing, for the independence of the farmer to not depend on the seeds, because see, 5 grams of chili seeds is 1,000 rupees. Just think about what costly the seed is becoming. How can a small farmer survive without taking subsidies and bank loans, right? So this is something, a vicious cycle which the farmers get into if they go into this. Another thing is, the local seeds production may be low, but the market demand. I was telling you about the $235 million wellness food industry. So there is a demand for the local food items. There is a market growing now. Now people are conscious about, they want to eat it. For example, one of my green commandos, they are growing Johar rice of Assam, that is original one, the scented rice, right? The production is only 300 kgs per biga compared to 800 to 900 kgs of the high yielding varieties. So this 300 kgs, but this Johar rice, this guy is selling at 80 rupees in the wholesale per kg, right? And he doesn't have any kind of other agricultural operations to do. He makes his own compost, he makes his own vermicompost, he makes his own biopesticide. They don't need biopesticide of those local varieties. They grow like that only. So this is very important that we keep, this is, every seed has got a story. Every seed of your local area will be telling you, it has got a history. It will be a story. It is culture. It is heritage. It is linked with the culture of the people. If I talk to you also, if you are from Manipur, or if you are from your whatever place you belong to, if I ask you what rice you like to eat most, you will tell me the local rice, sir. That is tasty. That is sweeter. That is more tasty and more healthy, right? But this is a talking about. If you look at some videos in the YouTube and you go to look at seed sovereignty, if you look at speakers like Bandana Siva, you will look at how this seed, I will repeat again, the corporates, they know if they control a seed, they control food and people. And that is the mantra. And this corporates has got all the powers to come through all research and the policy making institutions, because they can enter through them. They will give you there is a KVK trial for a hybrid maize in the mountains of Nagaland and Arunachal, where we have so much of sticky rice, sticky maize, which can create a very good market identity all over the world. But they enter through a KVK trial, right? After that, the farmers who are given trial, they will see, okay, they know they have to boom the production. They will strike on some qualities. The confidence is built. Then the farmers next time goes to the market to buy 500 rupees kg maize seed, which he was keeping by himself, right? So they enter. And now this all-rounder maize of Monsanto, it is made like that. When you buy the seed, you have to treat the seed with the seed treatment chemicals they give you. After growing this much, you have to spray one chemical from the Monsanto. They have made selective herbicides, right? Where they will not genetically modified, that is genetically modified. So they will again you put money on that to save the money of the farmer, to keep the identity of the farmer, to make you an entrepreneur with a very unique product in the world market. We have to preserve the local seed and conserve them and grow with them. That is my answer to you. Yeah. Yeah, I can take the next question is from Deepika. Yeah, Deepika is asking about agri-tourism as best option to farmers as agri-entrepreneurship. Yeah, this is very good option because almost all the cities have become concreted now. People are breathless, so people wants to breathe in fresh air. People wants to eat good food. So this is a very good way where the agripreneur can connect consumers to the market and give them some solace, even give them some space. For example, if you ask people in the cities, they spend lots of money in Saturdays and Sundays. Whole day they work in the office. Saturdays and Sunday they will take the kids. They think that it's their duty to give time to the kids because they have taken out of the kids, right? Time out of the kids. So they take them to a mall or which is again concrete, right? Schools are concrete, buildings are concrete. Think about the kids, what they faced in this lockdown period, all inside the concrete. So if we can give them some villages, you will be surprised to know the bookings of my farm campings now. Uh, Bookings of my farm campings now after this lockdown, right? So there is a huge scope of agrotourism, right? Thank you. Uh, Share the link of Green Commandos. Okay, Vasant is asking about sharing the link of Green Commandos. Vasant, please follow Samir Bodle on Facebook or Spread Any on Facebook. You will be looking at advertisements when we give ad to the Green Commandos camping. So this Green Commandos camping are 3 days camping, but this is not free because we are self-sustaining organization. We don't take any help from any organization. If we have a product like we have now Food Forest, our product, which we have given it to NABARD. NABARD is convinced they're coming with us. So what happens is you cannot be played with your principles. But if there are funders who give you money, so they can also play with your principles. So we don't do this. We are self-sustaining. So what we do is we charge 1,200 rupees per children per commando per day in this whole 3 days process. There is 3,600 rupees for 3 days, which includes your food, stay, training, everything. And you become a certified green commando. You come to our group of social enterprise, and we call that a green tribe, right? So you can join that, right? But there is a fees for that, which is 3,600 rupees for 3 days, right? Uh, Dynamics of floriculture in hills. Yeah, there are lots of scope for this floriculture uh, industry here, where we can think about how we can incorporate that into food forest. Like for example, we are growing now lots of marigold inside the food forest, right? That local marigold is also now, it's also becoming a pest repellent or a trap crop, right? And the leaves are used as a biopesticide, and also the flowers. Like for example, if I talk about food forest, I think orchids have got so much of scope in this region. So we can think about, so every plant, every forestry in our food forest, we have black peppers there, and also we have orchids there, right? So this way, floriculture can be also a very beautiful scope uh, in our villages, right? So that is something which we can do. Sir, is that wood apple or mangosteen, Garcinia pendulata? Wood apple is bell, right? The common name is bell, right? Can we completely depend on food forest? Yeah, we are doing that. We are creating villages of that, and we can depend on food forest. And I'm very I told you I'm lucky to talk to the students of horticulture and forestry together in the college, where I think you can think about, you can do lots of research on this. You can magnify my works, and also you can think about whether it is possible or not. But many universities have done the studies, like Frankfurt University, Germany, and they are calling it as a Samir model of farming now, and it is now the whole world is going to take about, because we need something which is very climate friendly farming. We don't need, and we cannot think about also, how can you think about our hill farmers thinking about tractors, power tillers, making so much of money spent on, or how you can think about our farmers burning the forest every year. But if you incorporate agroforestry like the mahogany we do in our food forest, it becomes a plant which is giving 2 lakhs rupees after 12 years. So the farmers are not going to burn the forest for 12 years. If you make the forest into something profitable every year, from yams to gooseberries to ginger to turmeric. So the farmers are not going to burn it. So I think food forests are something which can make us self-sustained. At least Northeast can be very good with that, right? But yeah, I'm getting now so much of invitations from other states of the country uh, to incorporate this model into their farming system. Right? Many certificate open for, is it not on for agricultural graduates? Merit certificate is not only for the agricultural graduates, it is for agricultural and allied graduates. Everybody can go it now. Now even BSc Botany can apply for that, right? So they have made it like that. Another thing I would like to highlight to you, my dear friends, because we are from the same fraternity, that is called agriculture. Most of the startups which are happening now are people coming from the other disciplines like MBAs. Most of the MBAs and engineers, they're coming to become farmers with me. So I feel somehow our profession is being hijacked, because food is the biggest industry, and we can stand up, and all of us agricultural graduates has gone into such a mindset that we will only go for jobs. It might be a research associate post in the college, or it might be a SRF post, or it might be a representative in the agrochemical industry, or the veterinary medicine selling industry. We think about only jobs, but people from other disciplines are hijacking our profession and creating jobs. I was very shocked this time when I did a program in Meghalaya. I was called as a resource person, and to train some people. There is a startup company from New Delhi who has started something to market local turmeric products from Meghalaya to the other part of the country. And the startup is started by some engineers and MBAs. They came, and I was invited to train some people. And when I was asking the qualification of the trainees, always saying, sir, I am a forestry graduate from this, I am a master's graduate from horticulture, I am a PhD from Assam Agricultural University. So what is happening is people from other disciplines are giving us job again, because we are becoming so job sick. You have got the whole nature with you. You are the future doctors. You are the future healers, because only good food is going to treat good people. So we have to think about how we grow with our resources and become agripreneurs, right? Uh, Sir, how to start zero budget entrepreneurship? Okay. The answer is like locate something which is very local crop to your community. Uh, Go to the community, learn from the community, collect the old traditional knowledge, mix it with your scientific knowledge from your learning in the university, make it into a package. And the best way is join our Green Commando training programs, which we have. And also, I can also suggest your college where we can have, because I did a very good program, a virtual learning program for 7 days on this zero budget farming practices with School of Agriculture and Rural Development in Mejipema in Nagaland University. We did a 7 days program. We did a 20 days intensive program in our farm with the NAHEB students of Assam Agricultural University. So I think we can also tie up with the college and the university in doing this kind of program where you can learn this zero budget farming practices. Vasant, okay, nice presentation. Do you have any? I'm personally planted 961 plants. Okay. With the remarks of Basant, I just want to ask you one thing, right? Can you type down, everybody, can you type down your favorite local fruit or food item in the chat box? Let's do an activity, right? Type down your best favorite fruit which you like, local fruit. I'm not talking about dragon fruit or avocados or something where I have to be dependent on buying 50 rupees one sapling from outside. I'm talking about local fruits which I can keep the seeds and which is my identity, right? So whatever you like, you can type down what is your favorite fruit or local food item, right? Can you type down? Okay. Mango, banana, guava, bayberry, jamun, wild apple, sesame, mustard, mango, fig. See, so many names coming up to start up our entrepreneurship. Jamun, mango, parkia, mangosteen, lemon, okay, jackfruit, jamun. Okay, now everybody has mentioned what you like. So now, uh, just think about what is the time frame when you planted your favorite fruit item or your food item, when you personally planted them. How many years did I do it, or I never planted, or I have planted it 7 years before, 10 years before, 20 years before when I was in the school. So when did you plant your favorite fruit? Right? Type it down. Okay. Like for example, like Longding is typing banana is your Longding is typing mandarin is his favorite fruit. So when did you plant a mandarin plant, Longding? I Pragati has written, I have never planted, not planted, sir. Dilip is writing, not planted, sir. Yeah, you can go. I have never planted. 2011, jackfruit, Joseph. Okay, 2 years back, lychee, 1 year back. So this is one thing which is very dangerous, which is more dangerous than the climate change. That is, we stop growing our own food. We have stopped planting our own food, right? Those who have done is clap to them. But but we have to think about, right? 21 years, 22 years, people like you have not planted your favorite fruit. That is the danger. That is why we are talking about that hybrids are better, because we are not planting our local food crops, as because we are not growing our local food wisdom, there is chance of the food industry to come and grab your market, right? So it is very important that we grow our own food. And the first step to become an agripreneur is try to grow your own food, or motivate your young children near you or your brothers and sisters to grow their own food, right? Okay, Dr. Raja, can you also help me with the questions? Because there are so many questions and so many remarks.
Yeah, so many questions, and we are just 5 minutes more to finish the session,
Yeah,
because we have afternoon session also.
yeah.
I'll just scroll
You,
few questions, important questions.
Yeah.
Um, Sir, as you mentioned in your lecture that any region is rich in natural resources, and you seems to depend more on that, but as well as know that natural resources are limited and can be lost with time.
Yeah.
So how you are going to take up this challenge?
Yeah. 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 So
Can you say that totally
hello. Yeah. So this is I'm talking about sustainable natural resource management, where I'm talking about not only taking, I'm talking about planting a food forest. I'm talking about growing them. I'm talking them reusing and recycling them. Right? If I'm taking dry leaves from the forest to make compost, I'm also planting so many trees to shred more dry leaves. If I'm taking bamboo from my forest to make bamboo biochar fertilizer, right? The charcoal powder, which is a very good place for the mycorrhiza to come and give us nitrogen and other micronutrients. So I'm also planting bamboo there. So bamboo comes in 2 3 years, right? I'm planting. So it's not only taking. So it has to be balanced. So that is so important that we don't only take from nature, we also give it back to nature. That is the whole model of my farming, where we grow nature and we allow nature to nurture, right? So it is the sustainable resource management, where you don't only take it from nature, you also uh, make it grow. So we grow food forest and grow with nature, right? Is that clear?
Yeah, the another question is like processing of herbal rosella tea that we have on third day, the session.
Yeah.
And then the another question is, sir, according to your experience, how the scope and how diversified Thailand is in horticulture?
Your voice was
On
not clear.
12:38.
To which time? Which question? So
12:38.
12:30.
Time 12:38.
12:30. Yeah. Okay. So you told about
The question.
this is about chili.
Thailand horticulture.
Soil and horticulture? Hello. I think your voice is breaking.
No, Thailand.
Oh, Thailand horticulture. Okay. See,
Thailand.
yeah. Okay. I was just citing that example because they have made it so beautiful. If you go to Thailand, you will look at they have made everything into local food products, right? That is their one mantra, and they have processed everything. Their horticulture is so beautiful. They don't sell banana as banana. They make banana candies in a very simple process, which they do in the community enterprise itself, right? So Thailand horticulture is something which is based on whole value chain, right? This is from the seeds to the market. They take care and they empower the community enterprises to do that. And another thing which this is similar to my model, which is like they have added tourism to that, right? Every person who goes to Bangkok, daytime Bangkok is more of nightlife. So daytime is something where they spend in this tourism, horticultural, agro-tourism centers. They go to Pathamthani centers, or there are so many beautiful centers where they grow crops. I remember in one horticulture crop, it was a banana and pineapple, and they gave us a very high speed drive on that zigzag horticultural farm roads in a power tiller. So it has a power tiller with a trailer, but they give a very high speed. Like the driver is he's so skilled. He takes us, so people will be shouting and they will move around. They will see the farm, right? So this is a mixture. Most important thing is processing, and that processing is not very rocket science processing, like big build a big industry there. It is small units of how rice is made into macaroni, or how fruits are made into candies, jams, pickles, and the community enterprises market it directly to the tourist, right? So that is the Thailand model. Yeah.
More question the last question,
Yeah.
do we already have any supply chain system to export our local food product in the international market? Who are the stakeholders in this supply chain?
Yeah, very good question. Most of the European food markets are very much now interested in this local food chain, right? Because I told you these are the wellness food industry. There is a very beautiful business called the fair trade, and fair trade is something where if you as a social agripreneur build a story. I was talking about the story building, right? You build a story of your beautiful village where a local food is produced. So if you advertise it in the social media, or you have connection, we have a connection. Have our connections where we can help you as an organization, where we can link you to this fair trade, where the Western or the people outside, they feel like when I want to eat something good, I should eat directly from the farmers, right? So the connect, you can connect it. So this fair trade is a very good model. And in fair trade, you have to ensure, why I'm telling you to create story is, you have to ensure your consumers or the buyers that every farmer's kid goes to a school, their drinking water is good, the education of is good. There is no difference of men and women in the village. That is an inclusive growth. Everything is sanitized. Everything is clean. So when you make this, so the development of the village is also doing, because farmers understand that if I am into alcohol, so my product will not be marketed, right? So my marketing is linked to this fair trade. So this fair trade, before looking at the outer market, see, every time for the local products, market is not a problem. Sustaining the market is the biggest problem, because demand is so high. You cannot imagine. We started in Guwahati city. We have to stop it midway when we started, because we cannot sustain the supply, because the demand of local food is so high, even in the local market. So think about the local market first. Feed our people good food with some counters, or a home delivery system, or nowadays you can develop an app, and you can start doing business. You do it. When you build a surplus, and when we save more local sheep and grow on that, then we can think about exporting, because most of the government export schemes, they are only flag of ceremony. After that, it is not sustainable, right? One lorry of pineapple from Assam been sent to Dubai. After that, nothing happened, because there are no pineapples, so much of pineapples to send a full cargo, right? So we have to think about the market first, the local market, then we build the sustenance. And once again, market is not a problem. Sustaining the market is the biggest problem, right? So we have to build like that. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for sparing your valuable time and motivating our students.
Yeah.
So I'll have one small question only.
Good.
So one thing, I wonder that, like military people, when you said, initially after retirement, he was coming back to agriculture, horticulture, or the engineer, whoever, they are more interested. Now, how we can motivate our young graduates from agriculture, horticulture, forestry, to go for, this kind of technical farming. So everybody will look for, after graduation, they'll look for a government job or secure post, so that their livelihood will be secure. But there is a lot of uncertainty. In this circumstance, how we can motivate? Or sometimes they take it like working in a government sector, that it's kind of a prestigious, and they look down this agriculture. So yeah, share with your experience, what are the hurdles you have faced, or how we can motivate this young graduate.
Yeah. First thing, this is a very important question, sir, and this is something which is very important. First is, we have to put our curriculum or the academic whatever program we have into more practical ones, right? So we have to give our kids more exposure, right? That is what something which is very important, right? The time of like when I was in I was a member of the board of management of Assam Agriculture University. This was my suggestion, and they were taking up some actions also, like how you make the students participate more with the farmers, how there is more connect, how they're more into more practical approach rather than too much of theoretical study and giving exams and passing and acquiring grades. We have great I tell you, sir, I MSc students come to me with 7.5, 7.9, 9.8 grade points, but they don't know how to put the spade on the soil. They don't know how to use the dowel to cut a bamboo, right? So this is something which we have to make it. One thing is very important is make our courses more practical. Second thing is, another thing which is very important is give exposure of our kids, like you are doing this program is something very beautiful which Central Agriculture University and your college has taken up. Like Sundari is coming tomorrow. I know how beautifully they are working. She is also an agripreneur, right? And the other agripreneurs who are coming into this whole thing. So now you get a chance to interact. So seeing is believing. Give exposure visits. Send your kids to our farms. Send your kids to experience some farm campings or other trainings with us. Call us to your campus and give. Let's work together with the kids. Give them practical experience and strength. Right. That is something which is very important. I also face lots of hurdles when you talk about. Your next part of the question was, what were my hurdles? One hurdle which I said to you was my knowledge was very theoretical, and when I was going to the village to work for extension, my practical approach was very weak. So I had to spend more time moving around whole the country, learn from the farmers. I went to the South India to learn organic farming, uh, and then again I have to come back and for my friends, you have to think about what you learn today. You have to adapt it to your situation. You have to adjust it to your situation, right? So in South India, I learned about organic farming, where I learned how to make panchagayavya, like putting cow dung, cow milk, cow urine, ghee, everything into cow dung and mix it into a solution and put it. But if I tell it to a Nisi farmer or a Apatani or a Adi farmer in Arunachal, he's going to beat me because he cannot put 1 kg of ghee into 1 kg of cow dung. So I have to adapt. So I found out that our forests are the best way. So when you search for something, you get it. I got the termite hill soil. I got the topsoil of the forest. I got so much of stone flowers growing in the forest, which can be used as very good biofungicide. I got my turmeric as biofungicide. I got my ginger as biopesticide. I got my chilies as I got my herbs which are not eaten by cows and goats as biopesticides, right? So this is something exploring. You also as a student has to think about how you don't spend your semester break for just this. If you are committed to this line, if you are not into agriculture because you don't get a seat in medical and engineering, you will landed up in Central Agriculture University. And if you are passionate and you are thinking about that, okay, agriculturists are the future doctors because food is the future. Aristotle so many years ago told that food is going to be the future medicine. So we are the future healers. So you think like that, explore, visit, volunteer. So many people from other parts of the country and the other parts of the other countries come to our farm to volunteer. Have the habit of volunteering. Come, stay with us, learn, explore. Many farmers like me are there. Many agripreneurs are growing now. Go with them, get trained with them, and you will find that everything is okay, right? Another challenge for us is to convince our parents, because parents are also groomed into this white collar job technology, right? So we have to make them understand we can grow. Initially, it is very struggling, right? I face with my green commandos also. It is very struggling, but once you establish a model, once you establish something, so don't lose your heart. Try to go ahead. Have a dream. Have a passion. And I will repeat once again. I know even me. I joined agriculture because I didn't get a medical to join, right? But today I'm very proud as a farmer to call myself as a farmer. So don't think that we have joined forestry or horticulture just because we didn't get something. So this has to be our passion. And mind you, friends, we are going to be the future. Because now after COVID, see, we are becoming so important. And whatever I'm talking today, the Prime Minister is talking about vocal for local, right? So many researchers who didn't believe on my model earlier are coming to me after the Prime Minister is telling vocal for local, right? So this is something where we uh, grow. And I told you, we don't need only money. It is also status. It is also your power to speak, your power to dominate. And when you are a freelance, when you are an entrepreneur, when you are an agripreneur, you are free, and you can conquer, right? Thank you.
Samir sir,
Yeah,
I'm very happy for the wonderful presentation. And then I have been knowing you since I was in the college.
yeah,
And then you are someone I look upon, and now I have been blessed with this prestigious job of teaching, and now I want to motivate my students. And then we have a course like here also we have a course on entrepreneurship, and then our honorable BC sir and many of our teachers and our professors are motivating our students. This is not the time to wait for the white collar job.
yeah,
See, you have been guided the know-how of agriculture and horticulture, how we will plant and all. So they are now from your session today, my students, they must have learned how they will start from zero budget, and then how and where will they get the resource and all that. See, this is the message to my student that today from this session, we have learned that we have been blessed with a very good environment, not only in Northeast, in all over India. So if you are interested, like that startup might be difficult, but at the end, when you have a model, then you will be blessed like Sir. Sir is a good example. Sir himself is a agriculture graduate from Assam Agriculture University, and seeing his splendid achievements, we are so much motivated, and we will be, we can follow his path. And sir, I want to ask one thing, sir, for the our now after the COVID, after the COVID-19, after this pandemic, we are planning to send our students for Railway program. In the Railway program, we have some industrial attachment, agro-industrial attachment. So,
yeah.
sir, will it be possible to send around 20 students
How many?
to join 20 students from
Yeah,
agriculture?
yeah. You can send 20 students, and it's very nice time because we are creating three villages into food forest villages, and linking them into processing and marketing. So they can volunteer with us and learn for that. That is something which can be very nicely done, Victoria. And one thing I just want to add, okay, Victoria, when I was talking about how they can start and how it when you take a step, fortune favors the brave and the bold, right? When you take the step, it goes on. For example, I'll give you my own example, right? When Victoria was talking about me. See, now I have become an Asoka fellow just by doing, that's an international fellowship. And just by doing this whole thing, local people, local food, local economy, right? We were thinking about job versus entrepreneurship. I was talking about social entrepreneurs, the whole session, right? Social agripreneur. So being a social agripreneur, I became an Asoka fellow. Now my fellowship money per month is better than a professor's salary, right? So that I'm talking about the other support which come to you, right? Crowdfunding, whole worldwide, there are people with me where if I generate an idea, they're ready to fund. Crowdfunding, we can do crowdfunding. We are making a bamboo village of Northeast. Suppose one of you can make a bamboo village of Northeast, where the houses are of bamboo, school is of bamboo, the offices are of bamboo, the shops are of bamboo, bamboo huts for tourism, bamboo products for marketing. So that bamboo village, you just make a concept note, make a video, take it to the people will be coming to fund you, crowdfunding, right? So you are independent, right? So I just wanted to give you an example how fellowships come. There are so many fellowships for our agricultural students or forestry students or horticultural students who wants to become a hortipreneur or an agripreneur, right? Social, but you have to at the social. If you become a businessman, an agripreneur, you are not supported by this thing. But when you become a social agripreneur, you have other ways of funds coming to you, right? So that is what I wanted to edit, Victoria. Anyways, Victoria, thank you very much for this beautiful session.
Okay, once again, sir, we are extremely sorry for the inconvenience. This is Northeast, and every time we used to have network issues. Sir, please understand. And then I'm praying that I get back to interact with you in the future again. For today's session, we will conclude now. And then I would like to. And in the afternoon, there is another session. This is for our participants. It is an announcement that in the afternoon, we have another session from Dr. Asem Sundari Devi, founder of the Green Biotech Eco Solutions Manipur. And then for the attendance, we are sending the link at 5 p.m. and the link will be open for 1 hour. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your patience listening, and see you in the afternoon session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The time will be 2:30 p.m. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.